Legislation to require Texas sheriffs to participate in federal immigration enforcement moves closer to a vote at the Capitol.
We need to again identify, detain, prosecute, and deport criminal aliens that are in this country illegally.
We speak one-on-one with the bill's author, find out how he's answering critics of the legislation.
And to think that you would disrespect us like that is completely unacceptable.
Tense moments at a public hearing after an insurance CEO admitted to hiring private investigators to gather confidential information on lawmakers. We dig into the accusations and the fallout. Texas prisons without air conditioning. Now a judge sides with prisoners who say those conditions are unconstitutional. Why he's not ordering the state to immediately fix the problem.
Produced from the Capitol in Austin and airing statewide, this is the award-winning State of Texas.
Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Josh Hinkle. Legislation to mandate Texas sheriffs participate in immigration law enforcement is moving closer to a vote at the Texas Capitol. Senate Bill 8 is on the chamber's intent calendar for Monday. The bill would require sheriffs in counties with more than 100,000 people to collaborate with federal immigration and customs enforcement. I spoke with Senator Charles Schwertner, who authored the bill. He gave insight into why he believes it's crucial to protect Texans and responded to concerns about the bill. So you've discussed this idea that's in Senate Bill 8 for many sessions. What was the genesis of this?
Well, the current genesis of the bill is the people overwhelmingly voicing their opinion last November, on November 5th, that we need stronger border enforcement and enforcement of our immigration laws. Many years ago, actually 12 years ago, I thought it would be a good idea for local law enforcement to participate in immigration law enforcement. At the time, that was not as received well at the Capitol as it is now. The ICE program that is being discussed, the 287G program, is a partnership between local law enforcement and federal ICE in the identification and detainment of criminal aliens. People overwhelmingly saw the policies of an open border and how it affects communities, and they overwhelmingly want stronger enforcement of criminal aliens to make sure they are identified, detained, prosecuted, and deported.
In your opinion, why is right now a good time to get this bill through the legislature?
Well, we have a federal partner that is willing to assist and promote this program. We have a border that is porous up until the time Trump took office, and now obviously illegal immigration has receded tremendously, but it is still vitally important that local law enforcement agencies, in this case sheriff departments and municipal departments, have the ability to partner with a willing partner, federal ICE. And in this case, this bill would mandate that sheriff's departments in counties of 100,000 or more participate in the 287G program.
So the bill has gone through the committee process now. How has it been received from what you've seen from stakeholders so far?
I think it's well received. I think the Sheriff's Association is supportive. The citizens want stronger illegal immigration enforcement. And these are some terrible people that are being released from jails. They're arrested, they're not identified, they're released, and they're committing crimes again. And that's not acceptable.
The bill, now that it's gone through the committee process, did it have to change any between the time that it went from committee to where it will end up on the floor?
There will be some minor changes regarding if sheriffs that do not participate, how they could be held accountable. But in general, the bill is in the same form that it was during committee. There's also, I would note, a grant program for counties that are 1 million or less to defray any costs associated with their participation in the 287G partnership with ICE.
Yeah, it seemed like that was one of the biggest concerns we heard from sheriffs that were in the hearing.
Well, that is a concern. Obviously, anytime we ask our local counties to do something, in this case the county sheriff's departments, there is a cost associated with it. But it's defrayed by this grant program. And really, in my opinion, it's an obligation of local law enforcement to enforce immigration laws and detain criminal aliens. that is what our citizens want. That is what is necessary to make Texas safe and our community safe. And it is absolutely vital that we identify, detain, prosecute, and deport criminal aliens that are in this country illegally.
There were people in the hearing that clearly didn't want this bill. They talked about the way that it might impact the immigrant communities here in Texas. What do you think about that?
Well, I asked them if they want criminal aliens running around and causing violence and crime against citizens that they know, Texans they know, and I would hope their answer would be no. We need to, again, identify, detain, prosecute, and deport criminal aliens. The 287G program goes a long ways of helping us identify those aliens that are in custody already for a crime they committed and making sure that they're held accountable.
And the other models in 287G, like the task force model, that goes out and actively...
Task force model, the jail detention model, and the warrant officer model. There are different ways to participate. The historical one has been the jail model, but all of them are reasonable, and I think it is incumbent upon those sheriffs to take a step forward and follow state law if it's mandatory, and participate on a voluntary basis if they're the county size that is less than 100,000.
Last question, from what you've seen with your fellow senators and what you anticipate if it goes over to the House, how do you see this bill faring this session?
Well, it'll be contentious. It's a low bill priority, Senate Bill 8. There are those that on the left that for whatever reason don't feel that we should identify and detain criminal aliens, and they'll make their arguments. But the bottom line is the people of the United States, the people of Texas have spoken very clearly in the national election on November 5th. The president has signed an executive order, and it's time for Texas, and we've seen what's happened with the travesties of an open border under the Biden administration. And it's time for Texas to take a very bold and powerful stance against criminal aliens and illegal immigration by passing Senate Bill 8.
Our team is working to understand the impact of the heightened deportation effort in Texas. Has your family been impacted by the latest moves by the U.S. government? Has someone you know in Texas been deported? Have you heard anything about your child's school, your health clinic? We want to hear from you, and we'll work to keep your identity anonymous if that's what you want. Just fill out this form on our website. Just look for the immigration tips link in this week's State of Texas story.
What you did is despicable. Despicable.
An insurance CEO grilled after leaked emails reveal efforts to gather confidential information on lawmakers. We dig into the accusations and the fallout as the state starts an investigation. More medical examiners could soon be investigating questionable deaths in Texas. We look at the bill senators are considering after our reporting.